Thank you for helping this band have the show they had last night, because that your energy feeds them and they feed you, and it was great. And you guys just played your faces off last night. There's so much talent on the stage. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. Now, Rob, this is an awkward moment. I have to ask you to F-O. Go away. I don't like it either. Do we know what we're gonna? Do we have a plan? We do. Do you know the plan? Yeah, I didn't think so. I don't think you have a... Okay, you're going to have to know the case. It's called Stump the Bass Player we're playing right now. Which, by the way, is usually not that tricky, but I don't want to undercut your talents there, Mike. But just remember, last night, you leapt from bass to piano to vocals seamlessly. You are held in high esteem by these people. Don't ruin it now. That's what I'm saying. So, ladies and gentlemen, your first panel of the day happens to be one of your favorite people from the whole weekend. Get ready to celebrate the talent and hilarity of Mr. Rob Benedict. Passes the Stump the Bass Player.
He did it.
That was great.
He really did it.
A lot riding on that.
You really did it, Mike.
Oh, man.
Good to see you, buddy.
When you do the usual patter, like, how are you?
Oh, no, really good.
So glad you joined us.
I love having a band here. This is great.
Yeah, we just started doing this. Have you gotten to see Dallas over here?
No, I kind of just flew in and then I had to fly out, so maybe next time.
Doing this and you're right out. Bummer.
Yeah, just quick.
It'd be great to have you join us on one of the Saturday night specials. Wouldn't that be great to have Rob join us?
I would love to. Thank you.
Get thrilled.
No, I do sing sometimes, so that would be real fun.
Oh, that'd be neat.
Billy, right?
This is Mike.
Oh, Mike. Yeah. Really good stuff.
Yeah.
No, Rob. You should, because in the bit, I'm new. So you wouldn't. It's fine.
I think Mike nailed it. Ladies and gentlemen, our Patrick Benedict.
Thank you.
There he is.
Thank you, guys. Stay close, Rich, in case I need you. Not that close. Too close. Hi, everybody. Well, thanks for wanting to talk to me after all this. I feel like we spent a lot of time together. But now it's just me and you, so you can ask me the tough questions. I can answer questions about all those guys if you want to know things, secrets. And talk about the whole God issue. I know. It's weird. It's awkward. Where do we begin? It's awkward, but we can handle it, guys. We can handle it. It's funny. It's like I rarely read like what people say about like my pictures if I post on Instagram or whatever, because I know like 1 out of every 50 comments would be something maybe kind of negative, and then it gets in my head, and so it would be like, oh my God, you know, such a great picture, you look great in this shot. Why did you kill Jack? He's not. I don't know if he's dead. We don't know. He could be back. Listen, I'll say this. When I read the script, the season finale last season, I had the same reaction you probably had. I was like, oh no. And I really was looking forward to meeting my grandson. I thought, oh, this will be a sweet scene when they write this. That we go fishing together, maybe play some catch, do grandpa-grandson things. I had no idea that I wouldn't even look him in the eye and I'd kill him. This is so cruel. Not what I had in mind. Anyway, well, let's get some questions going.
Hi.
Hi.
So I was just wondering, if Chuck was in a relationship, who would you want him to be in a relationship with? Girlfriend and or boyfriend?
Look, Becky broke my heart. Becky was cruel. I would love to have another chance with Becky. She kind of went cray-cray, but I like cray-cray. I'm good with cray-cray. But I would say, well, I mean, I think I think God is more in a dating phase. I don't think he's ready to settle down with anyone. So I think he would like to have a relationship. Gosh, it's hard. All of a sudden, I feel pressure because what I'm now putting on record is God. You know what I mean? Like, I can't like name an actual person. So then I feel like I'm saying something about God, and who am I to say? But I mean, from the show, okay, so a girl, it would be like Becky. Just like, give me another chance, Becky. Show me you've mended your crazy ways. And for a guy, who does Gabriel Tigerman play? Would it make sense? Would that make sense? Because I can't say Castiel, because that's like, he's kind of in my family, you know what I mean? He's not, but he is. Like, we're work friends. Like, I'm his boss, that just wouldn't work. But I feel like Gabe Tigerman. Well, I'm everybody's dad. That's, if we're gonna go there. Yeah. But Gabe Tigerman. What's his character name? Andy. Yeah, that's him. That's the one. I call him Gabe Tigerman. But yeah, I'd say that's my boyfriend. Oh, wait till Gabe finds out that we're dating. It's exciting. It's fun. Batting both ways. You know what I mean? It's kind of fun. Opens and broadens the spectrum. I like it. That was one of my favorite lines that I got to say. I thought that was very cool and daring of the writers. I loved that. Hello.
Hello. So I make my living by moving to a new country every 2 years, and it's time for me to start looking into going to a new country after next year. So if you could live anywhere, you already have a job, everything's taken care of, where would you live? Anywhere in the world?
Italy. I love Italy. I just think it's a beautiful country. The food is amazing. The people that I've met are so loving and cool looking. And the language is beautiful. I really love it. Now, I haven't been lots of places. I've never been to Japan. I really want to go to Japan. I've never been to Africa at all. I haven't really been to many places. I haven't been to Russia at all. There's been a lot of places I haven't been. But of the places I've gone, Italy is, I have a glorious time every time I go there, so that's what I would say. Yeah, thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
So my question is, what was your first impression of Jensen and Jared?
Tall. Like, as a short person, I mean, I've always been aware that I'm always usually like the shortest guy in the room. But when you're around like super tall guys and you're a short guy, like it's scary. And so I just remember, because when you watch them on TV, you're not aware that they're that tall. And like Jensen even looks short sometimes because Jared's so tall. And so anyway, my first day on set, I like met them both. Oh, Jesus, hi. And that was my first impression of them. And then they were talking about like WWE, like cage fighting and stuff. And I was like, they're like, you watch like fighting on TV? And I was like, no, I don't. I mean, I respect fighters and fighting, but I'm more of a pacifist. I was like nerded out. I just couldn't. I made myself like 2 inches shorter just by talking. So I was intimidated by them. But then they turned out to be like the nicest guys in the world. Like by the end of day one, I was like, this might be the 2 of the nicest guys I've ever met. So they're sweethearts. I'm honored to call them my friends. I couldn't ask for a better group of actors to fly around with. Thanks for your question. How's it going?
Okay.
So yeah, okay. Hi.
Hi. I had a quick question on the episode Don't Call Me Shirley.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite episodes, and I really felt that Curtis Armstrong put on a master class in acting.
Yeah.
what was it like to work with such an experienced actor? And that was the first time you'd worked with him, right?
Yeah. He's amazing. He's. I mean, I was a huge fan of his growing up. You know, because I am of the generation that, you know, like Revenge of the Nerds was one of the like main comedies that was popular when I was a teenager. So, you know, Better Off Dead, Revenge of the Nerds, Risky Business, still such a great movie. Such a good movie. Anyway, so I always thought he was so funny. Like, I went back and watched Risky Business recently, and he is so good in it. He's not just funny, he's good. You know, there's a difference between like just being funny and actually being a good actor, where you can infuse reality into your humor. And I think that's what makes him so funny. And that's the kind of actor I try to be. Like, even when I'm playing funny characters, I'm still, my character's not trying to be funny, I'm playing my part. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a dream. It really was a dream. That was one of my favorite acting experiences of all time, shooting that episode. And one of the main reasons was because of Curtis. I talked a lot to him about shooting Risky Business, and he loves to talk about that stuff, which is, it's great. It's like meeting one of your idols and having him enjoy sharing his experiences and being a generous actor. I mean, he's been so good to me, and he's got, you know, no ego, and he's just a good dude. So it could not have been a better experience.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you. It's great. Hi.
Hey, this is actually a loud swing question. Everybody's gonna ask Chuck questions. How long has the band been going? Was it before you were actually on Supernatural? Like, has it been for like a good while, or?
Yeah, thanks for the loud swing question. Yeah, it's been for a good while. We started playing in like 97, 98. So it's been 28 years that we've been a band, and that's why this has been so great for us. Is like we've made now about eight records, and through the years, and we for the first 10 years of our band career, we were just hustling, just trying to get people to hear our stuff. And it's hard sometimes as a band. It's really hard to get people. So we worked super hard just to get 40 people to the club to hear us play, and then you're happy if you sold maybe 3 CDs. So then, then the more I got some acting work, and that would bring some people in, but then Supernatural happened, and this phenomenon, which has been amazing, and the Supernatural family welcomed the band in, and the actors did, and then most importantly, all of you did. And so when that happened, it just really breathed new life into the band, and it was a really great payoff for us of all the work we've been doing. Finally, people were hearing our music, I always say, like, acting for me is my living. Like, I need to do it to make money, to support my children, and on and on. But the band was never anything I needed to make money doing. I even didn't need people to hear it because it's just, I sing the songs because I have to write the music. It's personal to me. It just really gives me joy to be able to do that. But then to finally have this kind of icing on the cake, like to have people actually hear the music and like it and want to hear more and want to purchase it and want to, and want to find out more about the lyrics and find out more about, like, it's so gratifying as a band that's been working so hard to finally get to the place where now, for the first time, we can just say, hey, we're playing this club, and like 200 people show up. And for a band that has played gigs to sometimes an audience, there were more people on stage than in the audience. There's never a moment or a Saturday night special or a band gig anymore where we never take it for granted. We're always like, oh my God. That's why, like, the lights last night and people singing the words, like that, it blows my mind, man. And it's so, I can't say enough. It's just so gratifying. So yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while for us. So this has all been so great for us. Thanks, man.
Hi, I'm Sandy.
Hi.
I married my daughter in a photo op yesterday.
I just forgot to ask permission. But thank you.
I just wanted to make sure you're going to do right by her.
Yeah.
The question that I have is, what do you enjoy doing most with your family?
It's awkward, right? 'Cause I should have told her that first. I've got a family. We'll work it out. I enjoy. My kids are now teenagers, and so it's a really fun. I've gotten to a really fun place in parenting where they're young adults, and so they have their own opinions, and a lot of times their opinions make a lot of sense, and so they turn into like the coolest people, and you want to just hang out with them. So I enjoy sitting on the couch and watching my son play video game. Like, I enjoy that. Or we'll watch movies together, But I think my favorite thing to do with him is we do this thing like once a week. We go out to eat, and usually it's sushi. We love sushi. So we'll go have a sushi dinner. It's like kind of a fancy thing for us. And that's really fun, because it's like no devices at the table. You really can just chat. And I just enjoy being around him so much. So that's a fun thing to do. But it's funny that they get to the age where they're like, my daughter's 12, and she's like, why do we have to? They're good students. They get good grades. But she's stressed out about school, and she's like, why do I need to learn this hard math problem? I'm like, well, because you just do. It makes you a well-rounded person. But I don't want to be a mathematician or anything. Well, I know, but you just have to do it. But I'm not. You don't know how to answer this question. Like, that's true. I have no idea how to answer that question. Right. So you went through school. You learned this, and now you don't need it. Why do I need to learn? I'm like, you're actually making valid points, and I'm not quite sure. You know what? Screw school. She's making such great points. Like, okay, let's break it down. Like, I don't know. We just do. Because I think the answer I came up with is, and I think this is true, is like, because no matter what you want to do in life, sometimes you have to go through hoops earlier in life to get to that certain point. Like for me, I needed to do well in math to get good grades so I could afford to go to this college that I wanted to go to that had a good theater program. And I wanted to take that theater program so that I could be an actor. So I needed to do well in school so that I could get good enough grades to get accepted into that college. So it's that kind of thing. So I finally said that, but heck, I had no idea what she was doing there. They get to a certain point, they do a math problem, like, God, I don't remember. What's that? Tutoring, yeah. But they're good students. She's just stressed out. She's like, I don't want to do this. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't want you to do it either, but you have to. Anyway, but it's a great question, and I've got no other segue, and that's the end of the question. Thank you.
Hi, Rob.
Hi.
I have some popcorn for you if you want.
Sweet. This has been amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is great. God, I love that. Is that it? You don't have a question? Oh, God bless you. Me bless you. Now I'm going to talk into this like it's the microphone.
Hi, I'm Evander, and I was wondering if you were to make a deal with the Crossroads demon, what would you ask for?
I think I'd go the Robert Johnson route and just like make me an amazing guitar player. Like I really wish I was like. Well, thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. But I want to be even better. I mean, Billy's such a great guitar player. I'd love to just, be that level guitar player. Where you're just like. I just love to be that level guitar player. It'd be so amazing. It'd be so cool. I just had this dream of being that kind of yeah. Just like in the movie Crossroads. So I guess that's, yeah, I haven't seen the documentary, but there's a great documentary on Netflix right now about Robert Johnson making the deal at the crossroads to be the guitar player. Anyway, I think I'm going to go that route and answer your question with that. I suppose I could have been able to fly or something, but that's, yeah. Thank you. Or flight. Or invisibility. No, that's creepy. This flight. Just hovering, just like a little hover. It'd be great if I could answer your questions just hovering through the aisles. Yeah, sure, I guess.
Hi, Rob.
Hi.
So a few of your songs are about people or have names in them, like Angela, Gina Knows, and your roommate Larry.
Yeah.
And are they based on real people, or are they just names that fit with the lyrics of the song?
Usually the name itself is just fits with the lyric, but sometimes they're based on other people. It really like Gina Knows is not really is a made up thing about a guy who's like cheating on a girl and she finds out about it. That I wrote like 20 years ago, but that's completely made up. And Roommate Larry is real. That is about a girl that I dated in college that was evil. And it's a song called Undergrad, and all those stories are true. Drunk on the train, and making out with her sister, and her cheating on me with my roommate. His name wasn't Larry, it was Mark, but it didn't fit in the song. I needed the two beats. Larry sounded better than, then my roommate, Mark. And Angela, I wrote about like my guardian angel. So I came up with the name Angela as representation of my guardian angel. So yeah, it just depends. I guess it just depends on the song. But I don't think I've really ever used anyone's real name. Yeah, I had a song like, again, 20 years ago that I wrote about my wife Molly, and and that's called Molly's Song. But that we never really, the band played it at a couple of gigs, but we never recorded it or anything. Yeah, but besides that, I really don't. I don't usually use people's names, but I have hints, towards people that they'll sometimes never know. There's songs about people that I never tell them that it's about them. And then little hints towards people that just I know that maybe you'll figure out or you won't, but yeah. Thanks. The trigger finger's about Rich, but I don't say his name or anything.
Hey,
hi.
I was wondering, if you were given $100 million to make the perfect movie, what would the plot look like?
Wow, that's a great question, man. $1 million?
100 million.
Holy crap. That's a lot of money. Oh, man. Well, the plot would be, definitely going into space. Because with $100 million, you've got the technology, you can go anywhere. You could shoot anything. So I think it's going to be, I'm an astronaut, and I go to Mars. And then some weird time things happen. It's kind of like that one movie, And anyway, I'm on Mars, and then I come back home. It's in the future so that people can just go to Mars. But then when I come back, it took longer than right, so you come back and all of a sudden my children are as old as me, that kind of thing. And then my child, who's as old as me, becomes my buddy, and we both join the police force, and it becomes a cop movie. Where I have to be like, son, he's like, stop calling me son, but I'm still your dad, but we're the same age. And it's that kind of thing, but it's super funny. And then at the end, we bust down some doors, and then we take down the drug cartel. And it's called My Dad, Martian Cop. I know it may not make sense right now, but people are gonna go ape shit for this movie.
I would watch it in theaters probably 10 times.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And if we have extra money, I'll just pay all the actors a lot. So that and then we'll all you guys can come with me on vacation. It's so fun. It was so fun to think about. Hi.
Okay. Closer to mine. Can you hear me?
Sure. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Can you hear me?
So, thank you.
Great.
Speak up.
Hello.
Good. Okay. So I have a theory, and it has plot holes, much like the show. But I want to run it by you.
Okay.
So I was watching episode 117, Hell House, and it occurred to me, because I was drinking like one does when watching Supernatural, and it occurred to me that the tulpa sign. Do you know what the tulpa is?
Sure.
Okay, so the symbol of the tulpa, you put it on something, and then it comes real.
You're right.
Right. Yeah, because you're the writer, right, Chuck?
Yeah.
My theory is that Chuck was an actual person who wrote Supernatural because he put the tulpa in the book, Sam Dean became real, and then since you wrote yourself into the book, you also became real, and now, just like an author would end a series, God's trying to end them. How do you feel about that?
I like it. I like where you're going with it. I think you're onto something. I don't know about the tulpa, but I like that idea. The only hiccup for me is that why? No, because that question's answered anyway. Because now I'm God and I knew. So I was gonna say when they first find me in season 4, I'm like surprised to see them. But now when I think about it, like that was maybe an act because he knew everything.
Well, at the time, you were just a prophet.
I thought I was, or you thought I was.
We all thought you were.
I know, but I knew.
It turned out to be God.
Right. So when you go back and watch my early episodes and you go, oh wow, he knew this whole time. So I said I was God and he missed it, and they missed it. It's right there. That's it, I must be God. Now, I really like your theory then. I think it makes sense. I definitely think it makes a lot of sense that now, as the writer, as the creator, that I'm ending the book. It's weird that I've become the monster at the end of the book. But I know. I think that's good. I'm with you. 100%. But what do we know? Who knows? It's weird. It's almost hard to talk about, not because I know anything, because I'm always the last to find out. But I feel like there's been a cliffhanger, and we don't know where they're going to go with it. And so I feel like after next season, we'll be able to go. Then we'll really be able to launch into some theories. All I have to say about the end of last season is like, just hold on and wait. Just wait. The story's not over. So, but I think this final season's going to be epic. I support your theory. Everybody doing good? The problem with my popcorn eating is I'm really messy. That's why Richard doesn't like it. I really make a mess. I eat like I've never eaten before.
Hi, Rob.
Hi.
My question is what do you think would be your signature drink, Chuck's signature drink, and God's signature drink?
Holy cow. Okay. Good. All right, Chuck's signature drink is just like whiskey on the rocks. He's hardcore, just like whiskey drinker. Sometimes he just cuts out the rocks and just drinks it from the bottle. He's that kind of dude. Rob's signature drink. Well, I can tell you what I actually like drinking right now, but I feel like the answer just on paper is like beer. I'm kind of a beer guy. I really love IPA. So I'm kind of a craft beer guy, maybe. An indie brewery beer guy. But that's actually not, yeah, anyway, it's fine. I think on paper, I think that looks good. God. What's God? I feel like God drinks like a pineapple-y, beachy drink with like an umbrella in it. Sex on the beach. Okay. All right, sex on the beach. Frothy sex on the beach with an umbrella. It's got to have an umbrella on it, and the fruit coming out, and a straw. Yeah, that's what Scott's drinking, because he's kind of a jerk. But yeah, that's I think what he drinks. That was a fun question. I enjoyed answering it. Now I'm thirsty.
Hi.
Hi.
So I was wondering how you get in the headspace to play a character like God, who in many cases is such an enigma, and none of us, because none of us are mortal and can create our own universes with the snap of our fingers, can really get our head around, and how that headspace changed from realizing Chuck is God to, hey, God's not the nicest person at all.
Yeah. It was a big one, because, especially because when I came back in season 11, we hadn't really embraced it yet, but that was the thing. And no one took me aside and said, so, when you're speaking as God, we need him to be like this, I just kind of had this image in my mind, and I went with it, and I just was hoping that they were cool with it. But it is a process, and it's going to be hard to verbalize, but it definitely is a process to get into this space. I guess more than anything, the space that I get into starts with being a father. That's what God is. One of his traits that I kind of like. Those are kind of the shoes I put on first in my mind. Well, you're a father, and you know best. Even though I'm wrong, but in his mind, he knows best. What's best for his children. And he's maybe an egotistical father, but nevertheless, that he's comfortable with that. And so I think that's the part that I start with. And then everything else that goes with that, I think that they're really interesting, parallels to, a father that abandons his children, or a father that's very loving of his children. It's kind of all the above. So that's those are the things that I think about. And then when I first started doing it in season 11, the first day I went up to Bob Singer, who directed the Curtis episode, and I was like, are we good? Is that? He goes, oh, no, it's great. You're God. It's awesome. Kind of almost hey, you're God. I mean, you tell me. But yeah, so I think that's where it starts for me, is being a father. And then all of a sudden your voice goes to a different place, when you're a father. With your children being a father, you don't go, listen guys, will you just clean your room? You know what I mean? You're clean your room. It just goes to a different place in you. So that's where it kind of starts with, So yeah, and then, Chuck, Chuck's more like me. I mean, it's just, or a person that I've been, and yeah. So, but it's been a fun journey to play both and kind of have them weave back and forth now. But yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi. My question is related to sort of that. So I feel like Chuck or God, whatever, Chuck. I'll call him Chuck. He wants to be called Chuck.
That's right, he does.
Chuck, for the most part, has been hands off, but also I feel like on the Winchesters team, encouraging them. But then it's hard for me to understand where he's when he does this one completely 180. He's just that's it. I'm had enough of this shit. Do you think his time with Amara has influenced that, or do you think Amara might be behind what's really going on? Because her whole point was to burn down everything Chuck created. And that's kind of...
I mean, the truth is, I like I said before, I almost feel like I can't honestly answer until after next season. I think we're going to know a lot more about all that stuff. So at this point, I can only guess along with you what it might be. And what I was playing in the last episode, you know, he just had it, is where he's coming from. And, you know, he's got a vision of what he wants something to be, and yeah, I think he's just getting frustrated. But in terms of for our protagonists, you know, Sam and Dean, who we love, that's hard to see. That's why God has kind of become the bad guy. And I think it's a fascinating thing when Sam and Dean are like, wait, you keep putting us through all these things. You see, this is our life. And you see you're putting us through all these things. And I think there's a part of God that can disassociate. He can love them, but they're also kind of interchangeable in his mind because he creates all these different worlds. And maybe it feels like he's tired of this. And it's too much trouble. That maybe. That's what I was kind of playing. But I think we'll know a lot more after next season. I think that'll answer a lot. I think maybe in even the first episode. Again, I know nothing yet. But I think something's we'll be able to explain a little bit further, like why he was in such a bad mood. Because he definitely came back and he's a little bit different. He's a bit edgier than he's been. He's wearing the red jacket. That's evil.
Quite fancy.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll see. Let's just say let's wait and see. Hold your question, and then next time I'm in Dallas.
Then can I ask you a different question?
Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, do it. Let's go. Yeah.
What's your greatest musical inspiration?
I have so many musical inspirations. That's a great question. I'm glad you stuck around and asked it. I have so many musical inspirations. I'm inspired by so many just artists, musicians as artists who create things and go outside of the bubble. I love alternative music for that reason, but I also love like Prince. Prince is a genius. Prince was a genius, R.I.P., but he still is a genius. His music lives on. And he played everything, and his music is, I can listen to songs over and over and over and find new things in them. But I also am a big fan of Radiohead. It's inspiring to me because they're so experimental, and I love them. As a lead singer, I'm inspired by people like Eddie Vedder. I think he's a great lead man, Pearl Jam. Always been a big fan of them. But I'm inspired by music all the time. I see live music as much as I can, and that inspires me. Just to see someone creating and artists that really believe in what they're singing. So yeah, so that's, you know. And lately my kids listen to pop music, which I've never been a fan of. But lately I've been like, that's a pretty good jam. I'm digging on this jam here, kids. And then they're like, Dad, you're so not cool. People don't say jam. I do. I'm jamming to this jam. Would you like some jam? Who do my kids listen to the pop music? I like that Panic at the Disco. Yeah, and I'll tell you, that Ariana Grande has some catchy tunes.
My 12-year-old daughter loves, I love her too, but my 12-year-old is really into Billie Eilish right now.
Oh yeah, the kids love the Billie Eilish. Yeah, she scares me. She's one of those teenage kids that I'm intimidated by. But yeah, they love her, and she's cool. And it almost feels like too cool for me. But yeah, she's cool. Did you see her in that talk show? She has Tourette's? I thought that was amazing. She's like, you know, I thought that she's just so brave to talk about it. Yeah, very
really real, and I love that she works with her brother to create her music.
Yeah.
And she's a great role model for girls.
Yeah, she really is. Yeah, I totally support her in that whole thing. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
First, I'd like to thank you and everyone from last night. The concert was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
And my question is, which band or song is your favorite to cover?
Oh, man. I mean, what's so great is we were never a cover band. We rarely did covers. I could count of one hand the amount of covers we played before we started doing this. So the whole idea has been new for us, and it's been awesome because we've covered some songs that I never would have dreamt of covering. You know, people like Ed Sheeran or with Gil, you know, but like Nancy Sinatra with Ruth, you know, artists that we never would think about doing. But I really love singing "Let Love Rule" by Lenny Kravitz. I feel like Lenny Kravitz is fun to cover because he's so cool. And they're, you know, the Allman Brothers with the song we originally did, "Whipping Post" with Jensen. Like, Allman Brothers are never a band I didn't know as well. I didn't know Whipping Post before. So it's like, I think we should do Whipping Post. I'm like, which one's Whipping Post? I was like, this is a really cool song. I love it when I find music like that I should have known and I just missed it somehow. So that's really fun. So yeah, and then there's some artists we do on the opening, when we do a song in the opening, that we've covered that you kind of have this feeling like I'm not worthy to be covering, like this band is, like we did a Pearl Jam song in Seattle, and I just didn't feel right, because I'm not any better, I can't like do that. But it was really fun to play, it's fun. We've done some Led Zeppelin songs, which are really fun, that's cool. Yeah, so it's just fun, it's fun to, you know, just to take a really good song and own it. It's a fun exercise. So I know I'm not really answering your question, I'm just saying lots. There are a lot of fun bands, some fun songs. Last night I really liked doing the Bryan Adams song with Jensen. And I really love doing the Midnight Train to Memphis. That's super fun to play. But yeah, it's rare I get to sing the covers, but we did, but like I said, Lenny Kravitz, and then I sang, we did Purple Rain, we did that. That was super cool. Yeah, I guess all of them? Sorry, I'm indecisive.
Hi.
Hi.
I was wondering, what's the craziest wrestling match you've seen between Jared, Jensen, or Misha, and if you've ever gotten in them yourselves?
Okay, so, yeah, I've seen a few. But the closest I've gotten to participating is when I made the mistake, and I do this sometimes, I have a bad track record doing this, asking Jared what the best way to kick somebody is. And he kicked me. And I fell down. And I got up and kicked me again. Now, the thing is, he was showing me like what you have to do with your hips, but he couldn't do it without following through and kicking me because he's a big bear. He's like, it's like being in a cage with a zoo animal that you should be in the cage with. Then all of a sudden you go, why am I in the cage? Oh, that's right, I let myself in. Like it's my fault, because it is. But anyway, he kicked me those 2 times and it really hurt. He's a real powerful guy. It hurt, and then I realized I don't want any part of this. And then I saw him and Misha fight one time, and that was not pretty. And because they really go at it, and Misha can take the pain. I don't know how he does it. And then I saw on set when we shot this last episode at the end of last season, they were doing this thing during the scene where like I'm telling them about the gun I made that you can use to shoot somebody, and then same thing happens to you, that gun I made. And the 3 of them are sitting there at the table, and when it's Misha's close-up, and Jared is pinching him on his leg like so hard on the table that like Misha's like eyes are watering, but he does not. He just like does his Castiel bit, and then afterwards he had to yank his leg away from, and you can kind of tell when he walks away, he does it kind of, he kind of like pulls himself away, and kind of limps away. That was hard to watch. And then I also saw the best of all, because you can see the common denominator here is that Jared beats people up, and but he's a sweetheart. He doesn't know how big he is. I saw him put a chair through a wall, not out of anger. Like he's just like moving a chair and it went through a wall. Like he doesn't know how strong he is. We were in Phoenix, and he's like, we were doing a Lewis Labs, like, it's like, oh, damn it. And it's like, the chair was like stuck in the wall, like frozen. Chair. On the chair. And anyway, but the best was in Italy 4 years ago when he walks in the room and he goes, anybody want to fight? And Osric was reading a book and it was like, sure, I'll fight. And we're all like, oh Christ, this is not going to be well. And in 2 or 3 quick like karate moves, Jared's down and his shoulder is broken. Like it was the craziest thing. Like he put him down so quick. Osric jumped on him like a howler monkey, and then did a quick and he was like all up in his grill, and Jared went like Goliath. He just went and his shoulder dislocated, and we all stood up at the same time and went. And it was a bummer for Jared. He had an arm in a sling, and I think he had surgery. It was not, we felt bad because it wound up being pretty bad. We still applauded, but felt bad. And we did feel bad. But ever since we called Osric Master Chow. Don't mess with that kid. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I've seen some stuff. But unfortunately, I've only just gotten kicked twice. Thank you. You're welcome.
Hi again.
Hi.
I wanted to say first, thank you for the autograph and the hug and the writing prompt yesterday.
Yeah.
I went back to my hotel room and cried.
Aww.
And I also wanted to say you're welcome for exposing your Pop-Tart preferences.
Yeah.
Like my dad.
No, there's no part of me that hasn't been happy all weekend.
But I wanted to ask, and it's kind of sacrilegious, so just be warned.
Okay.
I wanted to know if anyone has ever asked you at autographs to sign a Bible since you play God.
Yeah, a bunch. I've signed many a Bible. And I suppose the first time I was like, is this? Am I gonna be hell? You know, there's a part of me that's like, am I going to hell? But now I love it. Because, again, it's what's strange about playing God. At first it's really awkward. You're like, I can't, this is a sacred text. But I do it, you know. And now I'm like, oh yeah, well it's my book, right? And I wrote it. Is it too? Hope you enjoy my book. It's all for you. Check out page 34. Good stuff. Love God. So yeah, no, it's cool now. Yeah, I've done lots of stuff. In photo ops, I've had to do some stuff too, right? With the Bible and marrying people, smiting people, and mostly marrying and smiting. But yeah, it's super fun because it's God, right? You can do anything. I wish.
God?
Yes, sir.
Why do mosquitoes exist?
A lot of anti-mosquito people in the room. Well, because they eat certain bugs, right? It's a circle of life. There are certain bugs that mosquitoes need to eat. They don't, but they could. They don't? They don't eat any bugs? Do they do anything good? Well, I suppose, look, sometimes you make stuff, you create stuff, right? And like 9 times out of 10, it's beautiful. But every once in a while, I guess you get a mosquito. But now they're just out there and I don't know what to do about it. I mean, I suppose I could try to make something to kill them, but then that's going to cause a whole nother thing, right? It's always something. So yeah, I don't know. Sorry. My bad. But hey, butterflies are cool. I did that. And human beings, right? You and me. We're pretty cool. Until we're assholes. But yeah, Sorry about the mosquitoes. Just you had to deal with it. My bad. See you, buddy. Thank you for the question. They don't do anything good? Huh. But bees are cool. Bees are good, right? Bees do a lot of good stuff. Bees. And spiders eat bugs. They do that. I always tell the kids that when they find spiders in the house. I'm like, well, they're eating bugs. Then we need them to catch the flies.
Now we have bugs in the house?
Huh?
Now we have bugs in the house?
Yeah, we got bugs in the house. like in the proverbial house. Yes, we have bugs in our house.
Hello.
Hello.
As God, do you think Amara's okay with you destroying her Kino game when you destroyed the world?
Yeah, look. It's been a troubling relationship for years. So I feel like that's the least of our problems. Yeah. But I mean, come on, she's playing Kino in Reno. Shouldn't she be doing something with darkness somewhere? Yeah, I don't know. She'll probably be pissed at me anyway. But it'd be great if Emily comes back and we could work that out. Because we definitely have some talking to do, her and I. Yeah, I'd love to just sit down at the Kino table and hash it out with her. All right, let's take one more question.
Hi, Rob.
Hi.
So I was wondering how you decide song order for albums. Specifically, I always wondered why on Eskimo, Mama's Jam is before She Waits, even though you always like to play them in the opposite order.
Gosh, yeah, I mean, at the time, you do kind of make it kind of like a, Billy's really good at that. A lot of times, the last couple albums, he's kind of taken the first crack at what the set list, the album track listing should be. So, you know, at the time, I think based on the recordings that we did, it is kind of a set list. You know what I mean? You want it's a cool album, cool song to start the album, and then a couple songs that kind of kick it up a notch, and then maybe like the first release, which is, you know what I mean? And then you go big again, then you go small, then you end on something kind of cool, maybe lengthy. And it's like, I don't know, every track listing is different, but there's a thought process behind that. But then the songs change and morph when you play them live, and then you suddenly go, well, you know, the way we've been playing Mama's Jam, that might be a good closer. And then it kind of becomes this kind of almost different thing. And the recorded version of She Waits on the album is different, really, than what we play live now. It's such a different song, so I think it had a different vibe at that time. Yeah, I think if we could go back or re-record those songs, it might have a different... I think like Saturday Night Special, that live album, is closer now to what obviously to what it is live and what it would be now. But yeah, at the time we're just kind of doing our best to sort of like piece it together like a movie or TV show or a book. What chapter is going to work best after what other chapter? But thank you for your question. Thank you, everybody.
How'd it go, Ross?
Yourself under the bus this time.
Did you? Was that fun? Fun to drive that thing over yourself. Well, listen, we're going to play you off stage and we have a bit of a break. So,
okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Mr. Rob Benedict. All right, now we actually do have a break. We'll be back.
That's a start. Is it break time? I don't know. I thought it was Alex.
Okay, and this break is Prairie.
Super. Well done. Who made the video? She here? He here? They here? Whoever did it? Great job. That's a great video. Well done. Very well put together. Congratulations. Do you still win stuff for doing videos? Did you win some non-legal tender that you can only spend here at creation conventions? It's like the coal mines. We pay you in script. That's perfect though, because this is with the money you just made. You can buy either 45 photos of Robin Rich or half of Misha Collins. So
it's your choice.
Your choice. But this is not
your choice. Which half of Misha?
Yeah, exactly. That we mean sides, not. Anywho, let's keep this classy. Let's dust this off. Let's get this out of the gutter. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, a man who joined the cast not that long ago and has quickly embedded himself in the hearts and minds of us all. Our connection with our youth, Big Al Coward.